So these are the 4 things that will make women to genuinely fall in love with you. If you want women to genuinely fall in love with you, you must do these 4 things. The first one is you must be smart enough to choose women that choose you. If you don't choose women who choose you, you will never be able to get women who will fall in love genuinely with you. If you must chase a girl, struggle, try your best to make that girl to stay with you, she can never fall in love with you genuinely. Even if she falls in love with you, it will be out of pretense or out of pity. If you must be with a woman who will love you genuinely for who you are, she must be a woman that chooses you and then you choose her. That's truth. You can't force a woman into falling in love with you genuinely. It's not possible. You can't get love from a woman out of force or out of convincing her. It's not possible. So the best thing you must do is chase after women who want you. Don't chase after women who don't want you. How can you know or tell that a girl wants you? Just by the way she texts you, just by the way she responds to your text, just by the way she makes out time to see you, just by the way she wants to always have a conversation with you, just by the way she always wants to hear your voice. That is how you know that a woman loves you. That is how you know that a woman likes you and wants to be with you. If you are not smart enough to choose women that choose you, you can never be able to get women who will love you genuinely. The second one is being unapologetically yourself. If you want women to fall in love with you genuinely, then you must not pretend. Some of you pretend to be who you are not, just to make a girl to like you. Now, if a girl likes you for your pretense, what do you think will happen? As time goes on, your true self will come out. And of course, there will be problems at that point because this is not the person she fell in love with. This is not the person that she liked from the onset. For example, during the beginning of that relationship with that girl, you were always spending on her, you're always giving her whatever she wanted because you are trying to gain her likeness, because you are trying to gain her validation. You wanted her to like you by all means. Then all of a sudden, you stop giving her those things that you were giving her in the first place. What do you think will happen? The woman will stop liking you because women's likeness for men are based on conditions. So that condition that you know that you cannot sustain, don't start it with women. Because the moment you stop it, they'll feel that you no longer love them. And that will be a whole different problem. So don't try to be who you are not. Be yourself unapologetically. If you're the kind of man who doesn't believe in giving women monthly allowances, don't go and start giving a girl monthly allowances only to change from doing that later. That girl will basically stop being with you because you were not yourself from the onset. But if you were yourself, your true self from the onset, and a girl liked you or a girl fell in love with you, that means the girl fell in love with the real you, which means that love is now authentic, is genuine, because she's falling in love with the real person you are. The third thing that will make women to fall in love with you genuinely is buying for her what you can afford. Some of you guys, once you meet a woman, you start spending money, you start buying for her expensive hairs, start buying for her expensive clothes, expensive bags, just because you want to impress her. Who are you impressing? If you impress a woman and she ends up falling in love with you because of all those spendings you are spending on her, she's falling in love with the wrong person because you are trying to impress her. Now, a point will come where you no longer be able to spend such amount of money, and that will make her to stop liking you. But if you, from the onset, you always gave her what you can afford, and she liked you for who you are, that means that love is genuine. Unlike when you began to pretend, began to spend money you don't have, began to borrow money just to impress a girl. That girl, her love for you will be based on those material things you are giving to her and not based on your genuine self. So from the onset, always be yourself. Don't try to impress her. Buy what you can afford and spend what you can afford on a woman. Because if you end up overdoing just because you want to impress her, the girl will end up liking you for the wrong reasons. And that means she will never like you for the person you are. And she will never also like you genuinely. The last one is voicing your displeasures when she does things you don't like. From the onset, if your woman begins to do anything you don't like, voice your displeasure. Because if you always voice your displeasure from the onset and that girl still remains with you, what do you think it means? It means that she obviously likes you. Because these days, the easiest way to know that a girl doesn't even like you or doesn't even love you is when you correct her. She gets angry and she breaks up with you. But if from the onset, whenever you correct this girl or whenever you voice your displeasure at the wrong things she did, and she calmly listens to you, accepts to do better, accepts to improve just to make you happy, then obviously, as time goes on, since this girl is already comfortable with you voicing out her displeasure, that means she actually cares about you. That means she actually likes you and she genuinely wants to be your girlfriend. She genuinely wants to be your woman. And that means she obviously loves you genuinely. So these are the 4 things you must do if you want to make women to genuinely fall in love with you. Don't pretend. Don't be who you are not. Don't even try to choose women who don't want you. Don't even try to run after women who don't want to be with you. That is the easiest way to get women who will frustrate you, women who will simply see you as somebody they can use, and not women who will love you genuinely.